Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi, Grant. Hi, good.
Good. So
How are
how's
you?
doing? Great. How's today been on set for you guys?
Well, today, technically, we're on the other side of the world, so we're waking up with you this morning. We can't tell you where or what time it is, but it's early. We're just drinking coffee, warming up. Are you on today?
Yeah.
Alin's working on today.
We just flipped from night shoot today, so ordinarily, if you called us, we would have just been walking home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you had done us last week, we'd be more delirious than we are.
Has that been an adjustment for you guys, kind of going from place to place and filming in somewhere you may not be familiar with?
Yeah. I mean, it is. You couldn't get anything kind of more different last year than starting off in the desert in the Middle East in Jordan and then going into the cityscapes of Budapest. We finished on the water in Croatia, and then this year again is completely different. It's nicer for the Australians in the cast. It's a little bit closer to family. But this year, the English and the Americans have to go a little bit further afield. So, but it is completely different. It looks completely different on screen.
I think that's always been a great thing about the show. That it's bold and it goes boldly goes where no other shows go before. Wait a minute, that's the wrong show. But the landscape and the environment and the environment that they shoot in and that we operate in, almost becomes a character in itself.
That's right, yeah.
And certainly there's no different this year with an exotic location.
Have you guys been able to explore the scenery at all on your off time from shooting, if you've had any off time from shooting?
There's a little bit of downtime where you get to go out, but I think one of the great things about this job is that you get to experience. Certainly last year we got to experience the whole of Jordan and Budapest while you were shooting, and we kind of really used whichever land we're in and go to the furthest corners, so you get to see so much of it while you're actually shooting.
Last year, I didn't get to go to Petra or Wadi Rum or any of the tourist sites, but I did get to fly around the Dead Sea in one of the King of Jordan's Black Hawk helicopters. So, it's a mixture.
And kind of going from place to place, how does this season for Season 5 of Strike Back kind of compare to past seasons that you guys have filmed?
I mean, we've only filmed one.
Just hotter. Hotter and sweatier and stickier.
Steamier.
And it's early days for us. It's early days in this new series. So I don't think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves with this show. We certainly did last season. A lot of pressure to make the show the best it could be, to finish, to carry on from Phil and Sully in previous seasons of the show. And, we've only been here a couple of weeks at the moment, so we've been in pre. There's so much kind of fight training, stunt training, things like that take place. So once we get a bit further into the season, I think we'll let the pressure off. But at the moment, it's kind of been work, and it's a very hot, intense environment to work in, but it looks epic on screen.
Well, kind of with that being said, with the working conditions that you guys have had to deal with out there, how is that kind of compared to other past projects you guys have worked on? Is this something completely new, or is this something you are kind of used to by this point?
Is that Navy?
It's just like Navy. No, it's nothing like anything I think any one of us has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in terms of pace, in terms of environment, stunts, action.
Intensity.
Pace.
Day-to-day intensity.
I think what people don't realise is the time we have to do all this stuff in, like the stunts, the explosive sequences, and also the stunts that we learn. Sometimes we learn it, the day before, on the spot. Like,
a lot of fight scenes on the day between takes,
It's so ambitious. Each episode is almost like a movie, but shot on a television schedule.
Yeah.
Like a short television schedule. Actually, I said that. I said it's just like, what's similar about it to Neighbours is the pace. I mean, Neighbours spits out some of the most amount of TV in a day than any other show made, and that's what it's kind of really known for. And it's Strike Back, to me, it felt like that same pace, but just with all these added insane elements
It is
of
non-stop.
effects and,
live gunfire,
gunfire
jumping off the helicopters, boats, buildings.
In fact, you get one going. like one take, that's it, we're moving on.
Yeah.
You got that one take to get it right.
But I think that makes it unlike any other TV show on air, and it certainly makes it unlike any other military show on air. And there's plenty of great ones on screen right now, but I think none of them look and feel as insane as Strike Back, and that is legitimate kind of insane action on screen.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned the intensity, the epic action that the show kind of features. Is that something that you kind of knew going in, the stuff that you would be having to deal with in filming the show, or were you prepared for it at all? How do you kind of prepare for that experience in filming for a show like this?
Well,
I think we were all, we've spoken and we were all fans of the previous seasons. And there is like a prerequisite warning that comes with a show that people say that this is going to be unlike anything you've ever done. And I don't think any of us approached that lightly, and we were up for that challenge. But yeah, sure enough, once you go through that baptism of fire, you are on board with the notion that yes, it is unlike anything we've ever done before.
And also, strange on the flip side, it's addicting. Like you come off it, and it's really hard to like find anything like that taste in real life. Anything else that's like that adrenaline, it's really hard to come down from as well.
So going from on-set to off-set, you kind of mentioned it right there, Alin. I mean, from just being involved in all this intensity and everything you guys have to go with the filming, what's kind of like the night and day of kind of going from filming and then just kind of sitting back and relaxing? Is there a process that you guys have to go through? Is it really just kind of a switch that you have to turn off when you guys were done acting for the day?
I didn't feel that happen last season. I felt like we were on the go. Like whenever you had a day off, you're thinking about your next stunt. You're always constantly rehearsing or working out in the gym or doing something. I think I've made a conscious. I've tried to make a conscious decision to like really take out some rest time whenever you can. Like even if it's like the first part of the morning, like to meditate or to just do something that's really relaxing for the mind, recreational, just to balance things out a bit. I felt like I didn't engage in that last year, and I paid for it.
And also, you went from shooting Strike Back for 6 months to a week later being back in Melbourne, picking up, doing school runs.
Yeah, back to doing full-time mum, which is what I was doing kind of before. And there was just that kind of two extreme worlds, and it was really hard to find go back into that kind of pace again. And mentality. So.
And like last year too. Last year we were working so hard on every aspect of the show that even when we went on set, we were in the gym or in stunt rehearsals, or we were doing something about the show. So I think in the downtime between, I think we all kind of stepped away and kind of assessed how to recover and how we would do it better and differently next time around if there was a next time. And now there is. I think we're approaching it a lot smarter, where we know how to approach it and get the same result with perhaps a slightly more efficient energy without burning ourselves out. Because the Strike Back series filming is a marathon. It's not a sprint, and you've got to maintain a hectic pace for 6 or 7 months. So I think we're better prepped this time around for sure.
Yeah.
I've meditated every day for 7 months to recover from the last one.
And you guys had mentioned, too, that this was so different from not only anything you guys had done in your respective careers up to this point, but just really different from anything else on television right now. Did you ever imagine you would be involved in a project such as Strike Back, or is this really something maybe not you expected, but hoped to be a part of at one point in your careers down the line, but it's finally coming to fruition now?
I did. I have to say, after having 2 kids, I had decided that I'm going to quit acting. Well, kind of give it a big break and take the kind of back seat while my husband did it all. And he did ask me, well, what would you want to do anyway? If you were to have a choice to get back into it, what would you want to do anyway? You seem to kind of tick a few boxes already. And I said action. It kind of took him by surprise, but it's something I've always wanted to do. But at that time, it was so contradictory to what I was, the life that I was living with my girls, and it just seemed like it would never happen. But yeah, sometimes you say things and it kind of comes to you quicker than you would ever imagine. But that.
Careful what you wish for.
Exactly, because I got it in a big way, and there was nothing like it. So after this, I think every job will compare in terms of pace and action. Yeah. But how about you guys?
I was not unlike Alin, trying to move my career from Australia to America. It was only like 2 or 3 years ago I was ready to pack it in and move home for sure, and I entertained that. I spoke to my wife and my management, my team. I thought, this isn't working. I'm wasting my time. And then suddenly, 3 years later, to be on, our second season as the lead in an international action series alongside these legends, you got to pinch yourself. I know I worked really hard at it, but I probably didn't expect it. And I feel like a job like Strike Back, a role like Wyatt, is reward for not quitting and not giving up. I enjoy every second of it.
And everything that kind of goes into the show. I mean, you guys have mentioned just the stuff that you had done alone to film for this current season, and stunt training with real-life military veterans and learning protocol from counterterrorism experts. What's that experience been like? I mean, obviously you mentioned intense before in a word, but again, how intense has that process been for you guys?
It's intense because, again, knowing what the show was and what it's really known for is how accurate it displays all those working tactics, military tactics, and how authentic it is. It's one of what people love about Strike Back. And so coming in with that pressure, definitely you want to know, you want to have the best advice. You don't want to get a foot wrong in this show with that kind of stuff, because the audience that are watching it. So it's one of the great honors is to be able to work with these ex-veterans and people to get experience from them and advice to not just how to handle weaponry, but also their stories. Past and present.
It's been incredible. Yeah. It's been incredible for us. The support from the support on air from the sort of military and veteran communities, but also veterans and active servicemen and women from the UK, from Australia, from the US, have just been so supportive, so forthcoming in wanting to help and get up right. And we, as a cast, I think, take that responsibility with a great weight. There's a great responsibility that we take on. We want to get that right and do them proud. Honor what they've given us and what they've done. Ultimately, it is an action adventure. It's fictional, but there is a level of duty and responsibility to represent the men and women from around the world that actually do and are doing this job for real.
And it's just something you don't want to get wrong.
It takes the authenticity very seriously.
Yeah.
So much so that they're like, can you just stick your head around this corner so the camera can see you? I'm like, no, you wouldn't do that.
You've got to. And there's a fine line between what we've got to be able to portray to make the TV show and what's actually
on camera.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, if we had to operate for real, you'd never see our faces. We'd be in proper helmets, we'd be in proper gear, we'd be in corners hiding all the time because we've got to be seen. We've
got to come out of the shadows a little bit.
And I think it's going to be that attention to detail that kind of makes this show, Strike Back, much more realistic than any other show you'll probably watch in television, and the people that you guys work with and everything you guys were just talking about. And as we wind down here, you guys mentioned at the start here that there's obviously not much you can share, but are there any hints that you can provide with stuff that viewers can expect from this upcoming season of the show?
Just the same level of, high-octane, explosive action. I think every season just seems to try and push the boundaries and push what's gone previously. And hopefully, our first season didn't disappoint, and I know that everyone's kind of keen to push that envelope and be bigger and badder this year. And I feel like for us, having had that first season to kind of grow into this new team, you can hit the floor running a bit more coming into a new season. And hopefully, the audience now know what they're getting, so hopefully we'll just tune in, ready to go along for the ride.
And finally, is there any one thing from this season of the show you guys are filming right now that you look forward to most to people seeing when eventually makes the air? Like, that was that one thing that one did that it's going to be amazing when eventually makes the air. Is there any one thing that you guys look forward to making the air, or is it really just the entire show you're excited to present at some point?
I think it's such early days for us here on set at the moment. It's too premature to say, but I will say the location looks epic. It's super rich. It's it's going to look amazing on camera, and it's going to be a very interesting world for Section 20 to delve into. So, and I think more, and also too in this series, picking up from last year, a lot more character, a lot more interesting character development, and I think we're pretty excited to sew some of that into the tapestry as well, like that, sew into the tapestry. Sewing a bit more character. Now we've done a lot of the heavy lifting of the setup in season 6. We're going to hit this new season. I think it's going to be more interesting. I'm excited to want to see it.
Yeah.
And more Alin Sumarwata. TV needs more Alin. TV needs more Nova. Dickhead.
Well, fantastic, guys. I look forward to seeing the show eventually making the air. It sounds like you guys are having a fun time over there. Warren, Alin, Daniel, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
You're a legend, man. Thanks for it. Thank you.